sign.
W7 Live. We are live from Infinity Fields in Waukesha as Catholic Memorial hosting Waukesha South in a doubleheader. Gary Whipperman, W7. Our special guest today, CMH alum and Colorado resident now, Allie Kormanek. Allie, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to be here.
It's great having you, and I know you graduated last year, and so we didn't get a chance to meet last year for softball. This is our first year of CMH softball, so couldn't get you on the field, but at least we can get you in the box with us. So, or as close to a box as I guess you can call this.
Sure.
So we're going to go ahead and look on the field. In fact, the game started at 3:30. So as most of you know, I actually have another job, like a real job that I have to do. So that actually ran a little later than I thought tonight. So we were just getting set up, and the score right now, believe it or not, is 10-0 CMH in the top of the fifth. So it's 10 after 5. Is that right,
Yep,
Allie?
that is correct, yeah.
So this could be a very, very short game one here. there's one out in the fifth. It's 10-0 in favor of CMH. And I keep wanting to say north. It's not north. South up to bat now. Abby Smith back on the circle for CMH. There's a swing and a miss. The last time we were here, I'm surprised Coach Johnson let us back, Allie, I'll be honest with you. The last time we were here, Abby got hit in the knee on a hit from Maddie Krenz from Waukesha North, and that knocked her out for a couple of games, and boy, they sure missed her.
Yeah, I actually saw it live, and she collapsed, and I said, that's not good. And I was texting one of my former teammates on CMH, and she said it was just a really bad bone bruise in the knee, so she was on crutches for a few days, and they got it all worked out by the time they got to Arrowhead last Friday, and she gritted it out with an incredibly gutsy performance against Arrowhead in a doubleheader, winning, I think it was 1-0
1-0 and 2-0.
Yeah, which is incredible. I've taken way too many in the shins, and those hurt a lot. And so I know exactly what she went through, and I'm impressed that she could get back that fast.
Well, it's funny, too. I mean, so the two games without her, CMH lost 38-3. So 13-0 to North and 25-4 to KM, and boy, that just, it certainly speaks to Abby, but it really speaks to the game itself and the importance, really the huge importance of having a ace pitcher on your team. I
absolutely.
mean, why is that so important, Allie? I mean, why is that? It's kind of everything, really.
Yeah. In my 4 years in the Classic A, it was always if you had a good pitcher and a strong pitching staff, you could make it far. And I think it's because if you can keep hitters off balance between your pitches, whether that's fastball change, drop change, or drop ball, rise ball, whatever the case is, you can kind of mix those up, and people don't really know what to expect, and it can be tough. I mean, I faced Matty Anderson 4 times, and let me tell you, it is not a good time.
Allie, I'm terrified of her just on the other side of the fence. I can't imagine you guys going up to bat against her.
She's a tough pitcher to face.
She is tough.
And she improved each year. I played her, I think I was 16, actually at that other field. And our team, faced her pretty well. Didn't do as well as I thought we would. But then I saw her in high school, and I was like, oh, she's a different animal now.
Yeah, she is just something else, I tell you.
So her combination of speed, rise ball, her rise ball is just deadly because it looks like, oh, you could, hit it at the top of the zone, then it goes away. And you're like, oh, never mind. That's just not going to happen. But strong pitching definitely sets the tone for your team. And once you have strong pitching, you kind of feed off each other's energy.
Right.
And Abby mows them down like no tomorrow. So when you're constantly going to the circle and him and hawing, as Coach Johnson likes to say, you get your energy level up, and it translates into your hitting game, and you just play better as a team.
Well, so it's so funny you say that too, Allie, because if you look at certainly CMH didn't have Abby for 2 games now. I mean, she's not a prolific hitter, but yet their offense completely stalled in the games that she wasn't there, and that goes to exactly what your point, and that is just the huge importance that the pitcher has, not just in the balls and strikes and outs and everything else of the game, but really the energy of the team and just the overall morale of the team.
And Abby's their 4-hitter, and she's not like some of the 4-hitters I've ever played with. Like, she doesn't necessarily hit for power over the fence, but she hits the ball hard all the time. And she's not really known for her hitting because she doesn't hit with her club team, which is just a disservice to her. But when she comes in here, people don't really realize how good of a hitter she is, and just her mechanics are really sound, and that's the way she's been trained and she's been brought up as a player. So it's it kind of shows on the field when she gets that time to bat. She hits really well. I think Coach Johnson mentioned she's hitting over 600 this season, which I was completely
maybe she is a prolific hitter then.
So I was completely surprised.
Wow.
I thought it'd be like in the 300s because I was a career 400 hitter, but she's hitting 600. And I'm like, okay, did not see that one coming.
So we got to give Allie's resume here real quick if you haven't seen it on social media. So 4-year varsity player, 3 years all-conference, 2 years all-conference first team, and, graduated last year. And you guys didn't have a lot of success in your time here, but I think, and we talk about this all the time with kids, and that is, you may not have the success that you want on the field, but what you do makes a difference because the ones coming behind you get the benefit from your work. And clearly this team is benefiting. In fact, they've mentioned it on several occasions. The seniors we had last year and the group that we had before us helped us understand, how to win games and just helped turn the culture around. And that's something you really have to be proud of.
Yeah, when I first came into the program, I had previous club experience, so I knew I had to shoulder more things, whether that's leadership as I got older or hitting or whatever the case was. My freshman and sophomore year, we actually had pretty strong rosters. My sophomore year was probably the most success we ever had. We were a 20-win team. We upset Whitnall as the #1 seed in the regional, and so we were regional champions. And I still remember that memory exactly as it happened because I made the final out. I feel the ground ball, stepped on third. I immediately started yelling. And then junior year and senior year, we were a little bit above a 500 team, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And we lost the first round each year's, but still had a fantastic time. I still have really good friendships with the co-captains that I was with senior year, Leah Feinart and Lauren Mudloff, because we were all varsity starters our 4 years. And Coach Johnson develops a culture that really comes off of energy and just positivity, and that's what I love about being part of CMH Fast Pitch is they don't really care if you make a physical mistake. They just want to make sure that you're in the game, that you're active, and that you're doing all you can to help the team, whether that's you're number 3 in the lineup hitting 400 or you're a pinch runner. And I think that's what's really cool about being in CMH and the smaller community as well. We form that tighter bond and see each other all throughout. Oh, they're taking a picture of me?
You're a rock star, Allie.
That's definitely my mom's phone. Yeah, there she is. She said she was going to come today because they're still part of it. They know all the parents.
That's great.
Yeah, so it's kind of and I still talk to all my teammates. One of my teammates sophomore year plays D2 softball, and we keep up with her, see how she's doing. So I made some of the best memories playing on the field, and I'm really glad to have that experience. And that's why I don't understand why people don't play softball, because it's just a great time overall.
So we finished game 1. So CMH won that 10-0, and now Allie's given us all of the positive, all of the the PSA on the CMH program.
Yeah.
But what I really brought her here for, we'll talk about this in game 2, is I want to get some real dirt on Coach Johnson here. So I know she knows where the skeletons are. She knows where all the bodies are buried. So we're gonna have long talks about Coach Jay, and what a great guy, great coach,
absolutely.
and done such a terrific job here. And I will tell you, Allie, he has been such a huge supporter of what we're doing. He's out in front leading the parade, saying, "Hey, I'm willing to do this. I'm doing, come and support these guys for what they're doing." So I mean, he doesn't just, like we've always said, it's easy to say you support something, but when you really put your energy, your resources behind it, that's when it really shows that he's absolutely done that.
Yeah, he's once he gets something that he finds something that he likes, he just absolutely jumps behind it. And I'm glad that he's supporting this and that so many people around the area are supporting this, because it was so frustrating as a high school athlete, as a girl, for literally no attention to be brought to your successes.
What's that like? So, I mean, I'm so glad you're here, because it's a really good question to ask. I mean, what does that feel like, as an athlete? Because you're a competitor, you're an athlete, you work hard, you train hard, you play games, you have success, and it's, crickets. I mean, what is that like?
Sure. Like the people in my class, as I moved throughout school, especially senior year, they they would, congratulate me. Oh, cool, nice win last night, or whatever the case is. Especially as social media grew and the presence grew, and a lot more people read the Freeman, which is where a lot of our games are covered. And I always had like parents of my softball teammates saying, "Oh, great job," the whole thing, but not really any of my peers, unless they knew me personally and I was friends with them. But it was cooler to see like some of the baseball players reaching out and being like, "Oh, that's super cool, good for you guys," or some of the people I wouldn't really talk to that often, and they would congratulate us on a huge win if that was the case or anything like that. But definitely when I was younger and with girls basketball, when we didn't quite have as much success as often, it was a little tough because the only people that came to your games were your parents.
Right.
And shout out to the parents for sitting there, especially
of course.
in a sport like softball where it could literally be like 35 and windy. It's awful.
Yeah.
But
if you're in Oak Creek, it's 15 and windy.
Oh,
so.
Exactly. Like borderline snowing.
I love
like,
I'm just digging at Oak Creek, but I love Oak Creek.
Yeah.
It's a great program. It's a great community.
Yeah, we've never been down there, but we did go down to
fantastic.
Franklin last year.
They have a great field. They've played East Middle School. It's a fantastic field. It's just really cold, and there's planes constantly flying overhead.
Yeah.
So it's kind of to them though, it's kind of like a little home field advantage. But anyway, I interrupted you. But it's what I think that we do, and I hope that we do, is just help shine at least a little bit of light on what some of these athletes are doing. And I can't tell you how many times we've heard from kids your age and maybe a year older or 2 year older that, hey, boy, I wish this would have been here when I was playing,
absolutely.
when I was in school. And it's really caught on, and the girls really love it, and that's really the main thing for us.
It's really helpful for people like me who can't make it to a game on the whim, unlike some people who go to college and to state, and so I can watch it online. I watch basketball games online. I watch some of their games, and it's even if it's not CMH, I'm still watching North play Arrowhead or whoever it is, because
it's home, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it's home. It's a piece of home that you can have when you're along. I mean, you're in Colorado, so I mean, you don't have any of that stuff. You don't hear those kind of things, and we've heard so many stories about people taking tablets into nursing homes to grandparents and saying, hey, they want to watch their granddaughter play.
Yeah.
And to us, I mean, that's really what it's all about, and it's really I say it all the time. I mean, it is. When I say it's for the girls, I mean, that sounds great, but it really is.
Yeah.
It really is for them, and we do it for them. And, I say I'm a co-owner of this because they're all also co-owners with me. So
sure.
It's really their thing. And, so we do like, dugout cams and all this other, stuff that we do. And because, we want them to have fun. We want them to have a good time with it. Because this is hard work.
It is.
And we're so lucky the coaches that we work with are so supportive of what we're doing. They let us bring cameras in the dugouts and let us bring cameras in locker rooms before games and at halftime and stuff. And, we don't take that for granted. I mean, that's a really cool thing that they let us do.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the W7 kind of commercial. But we're going to take a break and come back, and then we're going to get ready for game 2. I'm going to see if we can get some lineups around here and talk to the South coach. I haven't even talked to him yet, so he's probably wondering what the heck is going on over here. So you're watching W7 Live. Boy, the weather is absolutely
perfect softball
fantastic.
Weather.
Well, perfect softball was 38 degrees and raining. So this is nice, too. So, hey, we'll take a break and be back. You're watching CMH Softball with Allie Kremanek on W7 Live. We'll be right back.
So don't let them steal your light. There's light on the other side. You'll see all the raindrops falling. It's a revolution. Make it out. It's a revolution.
graduation class of 2019. So let's meet them and their parents. First, we have Rebecca Gratz. She's being escorted by her mother, Renee, and her father, Michael. After graduation, Rebecca will be continuing her academics at the University of Minnesota in the Twin Cities. She will be studying biomedical engineering. Next, we have McKenna Christensen. Joining McKenna is her mother, Denise, and not her father, Randy. McKenna will be attending University of Wisconsin-Platteville in the fall. She plans on studying elementary education. So both McKenna and Rebecca have been key parts of our success this season, both on the field but also through their leadership. These two friends have completely different personalities. One who is quiet and leads by example, and the other who is very vocal. I believe you all know which one is which. Let's congratulate our two graduating seniors for Catholic Memorial High School. We would also like to recognize the senior from Waukesha South High School who will be facing us for the final time. Those seniors are Cameron Braun and Macy Camara. Congratulations to you two as well. They're freshmen. They don't follow instructions well. Congratulations to the two of you at Waukesha South. At this time, we will ask you all to please rise for our Catholic Memorial Athletic Prayer, being read by junior Rebecca Dancer.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, our life, health, and abilities are gifts from you. Give us the courage to devote each not to our own gain, but to your glory. Let us compete today with all our heart, mind, body, and soul. If you choose, allow victory to come as a blessing and reward, but if necessary, assist us to learn integrity and defeat.
we'll go one at a time with them. Okay. Build a hot date or something, yeah. Hey, kiddo, how we doing?
Wonderful. Hi, Coach Rice.
Did you get their line up?
Yes. Well, it's not too much.
Is it south? Is that south?
Yeah, it's a rock.
Did you get the CMH one?
Yeah, it's right here.
Oh, I got a picture of the south lineup.
I have their lineup right here, which is a quote from me. This is a nickname I used to be called Snoop Dogg.
I don't understand his.
Yeah, they're really random.
Yeah, they are.
He likes to call people not by their name.
Okay. All right. So he does give everybody a nickname.
Yeah, yeah. So I was Snoop Dogg for freshman sophomore.
W7 live game 2. We got through the senior ceremony and the national anthem, and
Oh,
right away pounded in the left field and caught for the out.
that was a nice hit. Nice catch, too.
So quickly, 1 up, 1 down for CMH. Keep me honest, Allie. Who was that one?
That was Riley. Thumler?
Thumler, Riley Thumler.
Yes. She's a sophomore. She's playing second base this game.
So CMH the visitor for game 2. So they may have to make up the one that was scheduled at Waukesha. So this is that one. Believe it or not, we had a rain out or two this year. And there's a hit in the center. You've never had that happen before, have you?
It's a pain. I hated that.
Yeah.
Absolutely hated it. Because
It's
Wisconsin
been
weather
terrible
is,
this year.
it's always terrible. It's either rain, snow, or cold, or the field doesn't dry out, or something along those lines. And it's just a pain to deal with because you never know when to be ready.
So Riley flies out, and then Cassie, was that Cassie?
Yep, Cassie Smith.
I tell you, I went over between games and saw Abby and Smith and talked to her a little bit, asked her how her knee was. She rolled her uniform pants up and showed me the knee. It's just purple. I mean,
Yep.
it's just, oh my gosh, that kid's tough.
Yeah, she grinds it out.
She sure does. And there's a base hit for Rebecca Stimmick.
Oh.
And Smith will go back to third. First and third now.
She rounded that one hard. Almost fell over.
She was coming in hot, Allie. Coming
Yep.
in hot.
Cassie Smith runs hard. So does Abby.
Well, they only know one way to play the game,
Oh,
so
yeah,
I mean
absolutely.
that's just who they are. So Stimmick gets a 1-out single. CMH won the first game 10-0, and this one's hit foul.
She was out in front of that one. Got a little jammed. She doesn't wear batting gloves either, which
That's old school, baby.
yeah, I always wear batting gloves.
Did ya?
The grippy kind too. Because I always got blisters, and I was done dealing with it.
First and third, 1 out. And runner will go to second.
That was a nice throw. Becca's just too fast.
Yeah, she's pretty quick.
Yeah, she was leadoff hitter last year, and she could get bunt singles all day if she placed it correctly. She's just good place to have her in center field so she can run the gaps down. Oh, she poked out
Abby Smith hits it right up the middle. There's 1 run in. Second run, going to try to score, and safe at home. So Stimmick scores and Smith scores. Boy, that was a great throw from center.
Yeah, that was a rocket right at the plate too. Makes the catcher's job a lot easier.
For sure. Just had a little hard time just maintaining control. It was a good call, I thought.
Yeah. It's tough when you have somebody barreling down at you.
Yes, for
I
sure.
could not do that. That's why I never play catcher.
So Smith goes to second on the play. So now you got a runner on second. There's still just 1 out, 2-0 CMH. And this is Abby Aaron. Abby, basketball player. So I know the basketball players, Allie,
Yeah.
for sure.
She's actually using my bat
Is she?
that I gave her. Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to use this anymore.
See, the legacy goes on,
Yeah.
Allie.
She's hit 3 home runs with it.
See?
Which
Look
is
at that.
pretty funny because I'm pretty sure I never hit a home run with it, but she's getting her use out of it.
Aaron hits it foul. Oh, we did several CMH girls basketball games this year with Coach Nellen.
Yeah.
Good friends with Coach Nellen, and both Coach Nellens. And I think they're going to do a great job over
Yeah.
there and turn that around. I'll tell you what, there's a kid on that team, and you probably know who I'm talking about. You better be watching out for her because she is going to be something else. And that is, do you know who I'm talking about?
Is
Swing
it
and a miss.
Nims?
Yes.
Yeah,
Alyssa Nims.
I've seen her play, and she's just so smooth.
She
and
is.
She knows her post moves, and because I caught a couple of them because I play with Claire Lewandowski, and
Love Claire Lewandowski.
so
love,
happy.
love
so happy
Claire.
for her to break out finally.
Well,
and
she got that game winner against
Yeah,
KM at the
absolutely.
buzzer. That
Yeah.
was so great. I was so happy for her.
Yeah, she had been working so hard, and she hadn't really gotten a chance before. And when Coach Nellen came in, I knew that she was going to get her shot, and she made the most of it. And it
She
was
did.
so
She's
I was so
such
glad
a tough kid
Yeah,
too.
mhm.
Strike one.
Yeah, she helps out with the youth program. She
Boy, you love kids like that.
does a whole bunch of stuff. Ran all the open gyms. Was a fantastic leader, and I was so happy for her to finally get that recognition that she deserved.
And that one's fouled.
She turned on that one.
This one up to bat here is number 16. That is Rebecca Grotz, one of the 2 seniors on this team.
Yep.
And we're talking, Allie, so you and Rebecca both have I think she goes by Becca, have the same major, or she's going to have the same major as you do in
Yep.
college. And she's going to University of Minnesota, Twin Cities.
Yep.
Popped up in foul territory, coming underneath it to make the play for the out. Well, 4 runs, beg your pardon, 4 runs for CMH on the first. See, these guys, our listeners know I'm always behind in getting the scoring updated here. So 4 runs for CMH at the top of the first. We've played half an inning. Your score, CMH 4, Waukesha South, nothing. You're watching CMH Softball on W7. We'll be right back. Bottom of the first, no score. Or 4-0. See, I am off today, Allie. I'm telling you, it's all that basketball over the weekend. That's a ton of basketball.
Yeah.
A lot of fun, but I've been behind on my sleep and everything else, so still getting caught up here. 4-0 CMH, bottom of the first. Allie Kromanek joining us, CMH alum, 4-year varsity player, 3-year all-conference, 2-year first-team all-conference, and now at school in Colorado. What's the name of the college?
Colorado
Allie?
School of Mines, engineering school. It's all engineers. So
Okay, so I'm just gonna come right out and say it. It's got to be like 98% guys there. It
yeah,
has to be.
no, it's like I think it's like 70. I think the official number is like 71% guys, but us girls hang together.
That's
so.
good. That's good.
But
Well,
it's
you gotta watch
not
out for
bad.
those guys.
Not bad at all. They provide some comic relief once in a while.
I'm sure.
And some help too. That's always helpful.
All right, so that was Allie Gardner struck out. Abby Smith on the circle for CMH.
Doesn't look like her knee's hurting at all.
She seems to be in pretty good shape.
He's fire him in there.
That's right in there. Boy, she's, you know, and the thing about her too is she likes working ahead on the count, and she'll just come right at you right
yeah,
away.
absolutely. I faced her at one practice at the beginning of senior year, and she threw a drop ball on me, and I didn't know what to do. It was drop curve away, and I was like, okay, she's pretty good.
Hit back to the circle. Smith got it. Flip over to first for the out. And quickly 2 outs in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, it looks like she got jammed. Those hurt.
Yep, right on the hands there. And,
Yeah.
and again, that's just great pitching. What's her off speed like, Allie, for Abby? How's her off speed pitch?
I think she has a change and then a drop curve, and the change just really, I think she places it really well. So she puts it on the corners and kind of gives you a change of pace that throws you off a little bit. And then she also has drop curve, some sort of pitch like that. Don't really know the term that she uses, but it's a knee buckler, definitely.
Nice.
So I think that's definitely a strikeout pitch, and she could throw that for a strike. Just break across the plate, start on the inside corner, break to the outside corner, and you're like, I don't know what to do with that.
This is Macy Kamara, number 22,
Yeah. She plays shortstop.
shortstop.
Really solid shortstop. Told Coach Johnson, don't hit it there because you're going to get thrown out.
2-1 on Kamara. I'll tell you what, we've seen some great shortstops this year, Allie.
Yeah.
Taylor Vertel at Franklin is just fantastic. Lexi Rayborn at Brookfield Central is such a
She plays for the
great
Bats.
shortstop.
So
Yep, she's a Bats kid.
I actually played with her when I was 10 years old.
She's a heck
when.
of a ball player.
Yeah, she's that Bats program just really prepares you and gets you to the next level.
Katie Stigler at Menominee Falls is pretty solid too.
Her older sister was phenomenal.
Cammie was. We did a lot with Falls last year, and got to spend a lot of time with the Fab Four, as I call them.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. Strike three. 1, 2, 3. Go the Black Shirts in the first. We'll pick back up in the second. We played one, and the score remains 2-0 CMH. You're watching W7. W7 Live, top of the second, 2-0 CMH. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters for CMH in the second. This is Felicity Smart. First pitch hit in the air to right field and caught. Quickly, 1 up, 1 down on the second.
Those are always tough. They're in the corners because the first baseman has to backpedal, and the second baseman's got to range over. And it's all about who calls the ball. Those are the triangles of death.
The triangles of death.
The worst one is shortstop, second base, and center field. I always hated those.
Because it seems like they always just drop right in the perfect spot, doesn't it?
And it's more of a fear of getting run into. I hated going back behind me because I was afraid I'd get run over.
Here's Maria Serb. Popped up and caught. So just like that, 2 up, 2 down for the Crusaders in the second.
Yeah, she got ahead of that, but the catcher made a nice play. Those are always tough, right on top of the plate.
Yeah, that was a nice catch.
You got to whip your mask off and find it.
So 2 down. Here's McKenna Christensen. That one missed. 1-0. On the circle for South today is Cameron Braun, number 72. Odd number 72
Yeah.
for softball.
I don't know. She's had that number for 4 years, I'm pretty sure.
And another
which is always
pop-up.
interesting.
And caught. 1, 2, 3. Go the Crusaders in the second. We played 1.5. Your score remains CMH 2, Waukesha South 0. You're watching W7. Well, we're having fun with the South kids. They just discovered that we got remote control on the cameras over here. And people wonder why we do what we do, Allie.
Yeah.
We have so much fun.
Yeah, it's entertaining. I think girls have way more fun playing
more
sports.
fun.
All the boys are like, oh man,
And
I screwed up.
And this is what this is, and I don't remember who told me this, and I'm sure it's very well known, but to me it was like very profound, and that is, well, here comes the pitch from Smith, and that
Ooh.
one's hit her,
Right in the heel.
and she'll advance to first. So boys have to win to have fun, and girls have to have fun to win.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that's absolutely true, don't you?
No, it is. And as a girl, when you're kind of like down and you're mad because you're not performing well or the team's not performing well, it just like it prevalates itself. It gets worse, and
Right.
so then you have to realize, well, if we're gonna win, we gotta have fun with it. We gotta stay loose. And that's all about what Coach Johnson is trying to build. He always says,
I love the
everybody-
culture.
He's like, we're out here to have fun.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter at the end of the day if you go undefeated or if you lose all the games. It's all about having fun. You can learn so many lessons from this game, and he's just trying to breed that culture and not make it all about wins and losses, because some coaches do.
No question. That
and
just sucks all the fun out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't allow the girls to have fun and not really like, yeah, they care about how they do personally, but it's not all they care about.
Right.
Like, as for
Absolutely.
me, I'm a very competitive person, so I was, I wanted to make sure that my batting average was a certain thing because I had goals to set for myself.
Right.
And I had, like a bar I had set for myself for my performance, and if I didn't meet that, I was frustrated and mad at myself. And that's how a lot of these people are in this game, like Abby Smith. She's the same exact way. If she, gives up one hit, she's like kicking herself. But everybody's competitive, but at the same time, you got to have fun.
Yes.
Because that's all. You only are this young once, and you can't get all worried about, I didn't go 4 for 4 today.
And
That's bad.
what you look back on is not the wins and losses or batting
Absolutely.
averages or number of doubles that you had. You look back on the relationships that you had with your teammates.
Yeah.
That's what you remember the most.
Absolutely. I mean, last year, Coach Johnson did an obstacle course in our gym because we had a rain out. It was like you got to throw a ball into a net, you got to hit something, you got to like run, and you got to jump over the high bar into the little pit. And it was the funniest thing ever. And it had literally no softball in it whatsoever, but we had the best time. And it was practicing unbelievably. So it's not all about how you do like personally or the win and loss column, but
Right.
just the experiences you get from it,
Yeah.
even if you don't go on to the next level.
And for a lot of them, I mean, this is all you get.
Yep,
You know,
absolutely.
and so senior night. I mean, it's senior night here for CMH, and we're going to do several senior nights this week. And I always say they're so bittersweet because I'm always so happy for the kids that they're get to move on, but at the same time, and again, this is a little selfishly, but for selfishly, I'm sad because I've built relationships with them. I know them. I usually know their parents,
Yeah.
and I really look at these coaches and say, I don't know how you guys do what you do and let these kids go because
Yeah.
I can't imagine how hard that has to be. Right back to the circle. Boy, Smith, she is so smooth.
Yeah.
That's just
She's like,
wow.
all right.
That is just really nice. We'll pick it up in the third. We've played 2. Your score remains CMH 2 and South 0. You're watching Black Shirt Softball on W7. On top of the third, 2-0 CMH. Crusaders got 2 in the first, and that's been it so far. 2 runs on 3 hits for CMH. No runs on no hits yet for South. Leading off for CMH on the third is number 10. That's Riley Thumler, the leadoff hitter.
Yep, top of the order.
So we up 1, 2, 3 for CMH. Allie, I mean, thoughts on this team? Obviously, they got to get through today, but I mean, as you get into postseason, I mean, what's the outlook? You saw the pairings and everything else. I mean,
Yeah.
what's your take on the outlook for this team in postseason?
I think they can do pretty well. They can make some noise. I think they're going to sneak up on a lot of people. Coach Johnson likes to keep it under wraps. He doesn't like a ton of publicity.
He does like he's Mr. Under the. It's so funny because he's all about promoting, but he's not about promoting his own team.
Oh, absolutely.
He is Mr. Under the radar.
He has a personal policy that like he never tweets the score of a game or never says like we beat so and so because it's just the way he goes about things. And he especially this year, he went along the policy of we're going to sneak up on people, and I think it's worked really well because I can guarantee you North did not expect that coming at them, and credit to them for playing hard. And I mean, especially in the Classic A, you have to come to play every game, and if you're not and you're caught on your heels.